Yo, yeah. Anything? Um, I don't know what to do then. Probably should have checked before, but well, anyway. Hello everyone. It's Professor Phil here. Just getting the lobby ready for the second round of the Tuesday races here at China. Wow, it's already a good amount of people tuning in. Hope everyone's doing well. We're just kind of just waiting on the last confirmation before we get the party going. If anyone in the chat could just let me know if I sound alright and if the game sounds good. For whatever reason, Tay still can't include his audio. We had some trial and error last week and, tried troubleshooting during the week, but for some reason it's not working. If there's anyone in the chat, if you'd just like to say, hey, just so we know who's here. Yeah, but I mean, might as well give it a shot. That didn't work. See ya. Huh? What was that? Sorry. Can you hear me? You can't share your audio, right? Okay, then we'll just figure out next time. Alright, as we finally get going to start qualifying. I've got 10 people watching, so I'd like to thank everyone who's already tuned in for the start of Race Spec on Tuesdays. Alright, and if anyone in the anyone who's racing could tell me the weather, it'd be great. And we got our first couple drivers coming out of the pits. We have Carito on the Williams, who's first driver out. As more drivers come out from the pits, I'm just going to look up the standings from last week. It was definitely an interesting race in Portugal. It was definitely a tough one with a lot of fair amount of collision. But definitely exciting racing nonetheless. Alright, let's see, and as Carito goes into the first sector, going through the snail sequence of corners. Coming into the first hairpin, braking nice and late, just missing the apex ever so slightly. Let's see how he takes these S-curves in a second. Has to lift a little bit through 7th into the left-hander. And upshifts early to maintain traction through the double left-hander. Takes the little chicane nicely and now eases on the throttle. Coming around the long right-hander to the back straight. DRS open. Just barely approaching 200 miles an hour there. Does a good job to take a good speed through the final hairpin. Let's see, it doesn't run too wide on the exit, so let's see what this first time is going to be. It's going to be a 1:31.7, which is definitely a really good time with Sargent and the Ferrari nearly over 2 seconds behind with a 33.6. As the harm assist now puts his Ferrari in 3rd place with a 34.4. So definitely some big gaps in these times as Porsche goes 2nd with a 32.0. And Zinger behind him with a 32.6. See a lot of times pop up as Toger does a 34.6. And looks like Dorothy Diesel just did a 33.6. See if anyone is currently on their lap now. Looks like Kemosabe is. And up a little bit into there and upshifting quite early through a couple gears. On the back straight. Might be running just a little bit less wing than Carito. Just looks like he got to 200 miles an hour a little bit sooner than he did. Let's see, coming through the final corner, making sure not to run too wide. And he's going to put his Red Bull on the second row with a 33.1. Tito's trying to set his first lap on the mediums, which is interesting. I still haven't been told the weather for the race, so I'm not sure if it's going to start a wet race or not. So maybe that has something to do with the decision of the tire. Unless they just want to start on that tire. Because it looks like Mr. Naz had a spin. Rockman, looking to set a lap time now, it looks like he invalidated the first 2 laps on those soft tires and is still trying to set a valid lap on this set. Oh, as he just goes straight on. It's a bit odd. As Flowery Page is coming down the back straight now. The only other driver besides Tito on the medium. So let's see how far he can put the Alfa Romeo up the grid. He goes 10th with a very respectable 34.0, which is just a 10th faster than Tito. Sharky goes into the pits and yeah, Rockman once again, it's invalidated. Inca looks like a purple first sector. We'll see if he can join his teammate in the other Williams on the front row. Oh, as he actually invalidated and is going to abandon this lap. Alonso and the Haas trying to put the traction down on the right-hander before this long back straight. Alonso takes the final corner nicely and puts his Haas 4th. So right now that's looking very good for not only the championship leaders but also the constructors. Corrida won last week in Portugal, so with Alonso and Shady right behind him in the Haas. So with Shady still in 2nd place and Alonso already in 4th, it's definitely looking good. Sublime and Freelance Tom came in 4th and 5th place respectively last week, and they're definitely in a good position in 6th and 7th right now in qualifying. Yeah, there's definitely a few people struggling with the track limits. I think it can definitely catch you out if you take one corner wrong, or you know, it runs you out wide for another part of the track. It's like, I think we just saw Alonso trying to get out of the way of some other drivers. Looks like Dirty Diesel's already on another lap here. Oh, no, he's going into the pits. We'll stay on board with Kimosabe's. He starts their outlap. As Toger just has to Watch how he's coming out of the pits. He's still trying to pass him. And now he spins. Well, not even gonna comment on that. I think we saw what happened there. And I think it's just been told it's supposed to be sunny for the race, so seems like it's just cloudy for qualifying. But yeah, hopefully in the future Toger knows to just be a little bit more aware of when coming out into the pits and if someone's on a flying lap. Because now, I mean, obviously Toger's tires are compromised, and well, so is Kemosabi's of having to do an extra outlap. Oh, and this Kawasaki just doesn't even want to use those tires anymore. The Shady now goes fastest with a 31.2, which is half a second faster than Rito's time. So let's see if he can actually improve. Going very slowly through the last hairpin. Taking a nice tight line and entry into the first corner. Keeping it in fourth gear, which is, well, I'll say different. I don't know if this was different from his last run. I don't remember him staying in such high gears for his first run. Maybe he's just hoping to take a little bit more speed and traction through the corners and not have to maybe brake so much. Keeping it nice and tidy through the double left-hander, staying in fifth gear. He's only half a tenth up on his time now. So I'm not exactly sure where Kurita's going to be able to gain the time on Shady, considering he's half a second ahead. But we'll see when he crosses the line. Looks like there's some traffic going on in the first sector. So coming across the line, he does improve his time, but only to a 31.5. So Kurita's going to need to do that lap and some extra to get into the realm of Shady. That is a blazing lap by Shady. As we catch up with Freelance Tom, who's out on a lap right now. He's just about a tenth down on his time, his previous time. He looks like he's getting a little bit of a slipstream from his teammate Sublime. As now he gets out of the way. Good teamwork there by the McLarens. His Freelance now puts himself fourth, which is great. And it looks like he's going to try to reciprocate the same to Sublime, who I think is now on a lap himself. This looks like Mercedes of the name's Fox gets out of the way. Oh, he just runs a little wide, but luckily he doesn't invalidate there. Oh, he's about 3/10 up on his time, so looks like he's actually abandoning it for now. Looks like Mr. Naz has had a spun. Also a turn one, just like his teammate in the other AlphaTauri. So it looks like Kurita is retired. He's not going to try to get Shady's pole position. We'll see if anyone else can as they all start their last flying laps or complete their last ones. As Flurry puts himself up to 6th place with 32.5. Alonso looking like he's starting another lap from him. But one of the Ferraris is close behind. Flyer Page trying to do everyone a favor and just try to stay out of the way. Did a nice job there. Alonso only a couple hundredths down on his previous time. And we'll see if see if Shady's able to improve at all. Oh, as there looks like there was an incident here. Oh, I think that was just Flyer Page still slowing down. It definitely seems like the two Ferraris are a little too close for their liking as Sargent just spins himself out coming across the right-hander. As Shady's trying to give it everything now in these last couple corners. See if he can improve his time whatsoever. And he does by a 10th. That's pretty insane. And it looks like all of a sudden that is the starting grid for the race. So congrats to Shady for an amazing pole lap there with a 131.186 with Kurita behind with a 31.565 and Porsche with a 31.855. Yeah, Jimmy, I completely agree with you. Yeah, turn one here is always a you know, you feel like you have to suck it in for your car for turn at least 1 and 2 here. It's really easy to catch a spin and just catch a different tire and get going. Well, here we go. That was definitely a really close qualifying. as we're just gonna wait until we get going on the formation lap. And as we get moving, we have Shady leading the pack. It'll definitely be interesting to see how this race plays out in terms of strategy. From the Sunday race, it was it looks like Toger just got disqualified for, well, perhaps being stationary. But I think Corrido pit on lap 3 which he did, I believe, undercut a few people, but I think the 2 extra or so laps of tire wear on those mediums definitely hurt him at the end of the race and cost him positions. So we'll see either, I think it will really depend on the start. If Corrido's able to get away and maybe pull it up on Shady if he has a bad start, then we could see something happen there. But it seems like Shady really does have the pace on Corrido today. Alright, so it looks like the pack is starting to kind of get bunched up here. Wish all the drivers good luck, and to have a fun race. And as all the drivers get onto the grid, alright, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we're racing here in Shanghai. It definitely looks like Shady got a way better start, as one of the Mercedes is already into the wall. Corrido is falling backwards. He's already down into 4th place. He gets put onto the curbs and almost gets spun out. He has to watch out for one of the Alpines there of Inca. And Corrido's trying to make his way around, but he's now stuck behind Porsche and Inca, and they're not going to make it easy for him in any way. As we already have Dirty Diesel and Flowery Page. Dirty Diesel just resetting the track. Looks like some people definitely get tangled, and Sublime is all the way down in 18th. So he's also definitely had a horrible start. Shady's just trying to lead the pack down through the 2nd sector. Inca's still keeping pretty close behind, as we see the tire strategy right there, so pitting on lap 5 and lap 16. This Porsche has definitely lost a considerable amount of distance already to Inca, almost a second as it is. Corrido really trying to get a move on. He's going to try to send it up the inside. Definitely does, and no tire smoke whatsoever. As Porsche tries to hang it around the outside, and Corrido just says nope. As looks like Toger has just had a spin and is now falling down the order. As Sharky and Sparty are trying to pull each other along as teammates. Alonso trying to chase down Kemosabe. He's having to think about going down the inside. He thinks better of it. We'll catch back up with the leaders here as Freelance Tom is still trying to keep it close behind Porsche and Carrito. Inca trying his best to stay as close to Shady as possible so he can get the advantage of his toe. Because as soon as Carrito is able to close the distance on Inca, it's just going to make it that much easier to get closer to Shady. What Shady wants is Porsche to catch up to Carrito and give him some more problems. Looks like we have another yellow in Sector 1. I think that was the harm assist in the Ferrari. And Carrito is actually falling away from Inca right now. Nearly a second and a half up the road. Porsche is going very wide in the turn 1, and Freelance Tom almost wants to sneak up the inside there. See, now this is the same problem that I think Carrito faced last week. I don't think he had that great of a start, and then he pitted on this lap, which is 2 earlier than the strategy, and to undercut, which I think worked a little bit, but I still think Shady was able to stay out on the soft tires and use them for where they had left. As Porsche's really trying to drive the wheels off that Alpine in order to stay close to Carrito. He's going to have the DRS now. Carrito will definitely not have the DRS on Inca, but Inca's already lost it on Shady anyway. And Porsche closes up pretty nice on the brakes at the minus. Whoa, but gets super squirrely coming out of there. Freelance Tom is not going to need a second invitation to get past. So now this is the problem. I mean, if Freelance Tom and Porsche can work together, they can definitely give Carrito a harder time. Carrito's going to want to try to work more by himself to catch up to Inca. But Inca does seem to have the pace to at least stay out in front for now. Oh, as Toker and the names Fox are going side by side. Actually, there's a whole group here. Just realized that I should have the tire information up. So it looks like the only 3 that I've pitted are the bottom 3 of Zanger, Tito, and Harm Assist. This whole group is insane right now. Sublime is going to try to go up the inside of Rockman through these S's. He gets that move done pretty easily. This Flower Page is definitely on a compromised line with Sparty and Mr. Naz kind of all taking a look. Flower Page trying to get past their teammate. But it's just at a certain point you just got to go for the move, and if you're gonna drive up the inside of your teammate, just make the move stick or just go side by side, because now you're gonna lose a position in Sparty. Definitely a fair amount of spinners. Oh, as Tito's DNF'd. I guess he's had enough of the race 5 laps in and wants to call it a day. So, commiserations to him. His flurry pitch does defend around the outside on the softer tires. Insane Sparty on the mediums isn't able to hold it, keep the position. As Kimasabi now pits to go on to the medium. So, an undercut from Kimasabi, as I don't believe he had any damage. And he's now right behind his teammate Dirty Diesel, who's in 4-lap old mediums. Feelings Tom is definitely going to have a great run on Corrido now, who is on 25% battery, and Freelance Tom is nearly full. So let's see, red light is now flashing, he's below 10%. So Freelance Tom's going to turn off his battery, he doesn't even need it. Because Corrido's obviously going to defend on the inside. You know, because why would you want the DRS of a car in front of you to pull you along to save your battery? It's much better to fight and stay in front, as Corrido now pits. I'm just throwing him under the bus for no reason. He wanted to go into the pits. Okay. So Freelance Tom doing a great job to close up the distance, and he's now going to try to set his sights on Inca. I think does seem to be struggling a little bit more on those tires than Freelance Tom is. Stoger actually now gets past Sharky. But with no battery left, and with Sharky having the DRS, he's going to try to go around the outside. Oh, as the name's Fox is essentially pushing Sharky into Toger. It's kind of risking a lot of wing damage. So now we have to keep an eye on Corrido. Oh, as he tries to go down the inside of, or he does go down the inside of Sparty, or Sublime. Didn't realize he'd be already this close to the pack here. There's now a yellow in Sector 2, and I think that is Mr. Naz. Is Corrido gonna go on the inside here? He does. And not much of a risk of a lockup. So I guess that's why he feels comfortable with that move. Still using a lot of battery in order to try to catch up here. Sharky does have the DRS and is nearly out of battery himself. Tries to defend the inside. Corrido goes around there. And Sharky's going to try to hang it around, but Corrido just drives on through anyway. And then he goes down the inside of Toger. So now that's actually past Alonso. And Inca just comes out of the pits there. So Inca just got past. Or just managed to stay out in front, sorry. So now Freelance Tom is yet to pit, and neither has Shady himself. But Shady's going to want to quite soon. If not this lap. Oh, as Alonso, I think, just had a huge moment, or was that Toger again? I'm sorry I missed that. I'm not sure what happened there, as Porsche now just goes by him too. As Shady now does go into the pits, and Freelance Tom continues. So we'll we'll have to see how soon Shady can get out of the pits. He's going on the hard tires, which is very interesting. And there he comes out of the pits now, and he is still in front of Inca and Cressida, but they are right behind him on the medium tire. I mean, they will have to pit again, and it's going to be an extremely hard race if they stay on that medium the whole way through. But the hard tire is definitely not going to be that much faster. It's not going to help Kurita that he's essentially playing with no battery now. It's going to be very tough for him to kind of stay charged. As Rockman and Dirty Diesel going side by side now. Each on a version of the alternate strategy, with Rockman on the hard tires and Diesel being on the medium. As Fox gets past Sharky, it looks like. Maybe those medium tires are already starting to wane on the grip. It looks like Alonso just gets past too. As I just look away from the screen. Oh, as a bit of a Constantino effect around the last corner. And Fox and Sharky, most people don't have battery left. Alonso definitely goes deep and tries to cut back on the inside and bumps into Fox. Kimasabi trying to go side by side as Fox kind of gets pushed onto the grass. He slightly, I think, just ran back into him there, as that just all looks really clumsy. Inca's still doing a good job keeping it close to Kurita and Shady. Shady definitely is able to hold on to a little bit more battery here. I mean, he's definitely having to use it since he's in the lead, but Kurita is absolutely nothing, and still continue to use it with the DRS. But Inca is also out as well. See, because if Shady is just able to save it, even marginally more than Kurita and Inca, it doesn't matter if they're going to get past them. They're not going to have anything to use to stay in front of Shady. As Diesel gets past Sparty, I think, down the back straight there. And Sharky now trying to go around the outside of Kimasabi, but gets run wide. Oh, and Sparty goes down the inside of Diesel there. Oh, as there's a yellow flag, and that's Alonso, who has no wing. And Sparty is just spun too. So, I don't know what happened right there to Alonso's race, but that is terrible for him. Kurita does lead, but Shady is right behind. Let's see, Kurita has... Oh, as there's I think a little bit of contact there. I don't know if that did any damage. But it's definitely getting Inca kind of back into play here. Feeling time definitely put himself back a couple seconds, staying out longer than anyone else on the soft tire. As Sharky and Fox are going side by side, jeez, and almost colliding. Sharky being left just enough room, and Fox just kind of cutting across anyway. I think he was entitled to more track than that. So now Dirty gets past. Sharky just tries to hold his line. So Rockman is starting to look to get involved. So Credo got the DRS. Shady did not. I think that was probably a play of the... Whoa. With the DRS on more than that. That was a huge send by Inca, I think I just saw. He wasn't even near him, and now that puts Shady offline, and now he's out of the DRS of Credo. That was... I don't know what that was. As Sublime got past Sparty on the back straight. Oh! And Porsche's lost his wing. I don't know what happened. I keep missing all these incidents. Hopefully Porsche can get back to the pits and through soon, as there's another yellow flag in Sector 3. As it looks like Sargent may have just gone for a spin, and I think he's now getting lapped actually. So Shady now tasked with a very difficult job of trying to close the gap on Credo on a much harder compound of tire to potentially get to the end of the race. With his team, with the Inca behind, who's definitely trying to cause problems for the benefits of Credo. As Rockman and Sharky are duking it out here. Rockman thinking about going for the send at the inside, and actually that puts Sharky enough offline where now that's invited Rockman to go up side by side. But Sharky stays in front. Looks like Shady's ever so slightly going to be able to get the DRS now on Credo for the back straight, which is crucial. As actually they're about the same level of DRS. Oh, he actually doesn't get it. I thought he was definitely within the deployment range. Well, he should be it now. Inca will as well. So let's keep an eye on the delta. I mean, it's coming down just barely. Shady's definitely going to need a couple more DRS runs before he's kind of recouped any significant amount of battery left. as diesel pits now. And just for a set of new hards. I'm hoping to get another boosted pace with some fresh rubber for this last half of the race now that we are officially halfway through. As Flowery Page and Porsche are still trying to go at it, even though they've each had their incidents. Because again, Corrido and Shadia, anyway, it's just so hard to save any battery around this place at all when you're trying to fight. Look for the fight of P8. Yeah, so we got Sharky, Zanger, and Sublime. Zanger's got full battery, as Sharky only has 30%, and so does Sublime. So this should be a really easy move for Zanger. But will Sublime be interested in 2 and try to go past as well? Looks like it. Going into the braking zone. Oh, Sharky goes deep and actually hits Zanger, goes too deep. So Sublime put Sharky off by enough, and now Sharky's going to try to defend it. But Sublime has the grip on him and the pace. So now with DRS open, he still has too much speed. So definitely, I think Sharky may have gotten some damage there with that contact that he had with Zanger. As he's definitely dropping off the pace now. Yeah, and just got a 3-second penalty to boot. Rockman definitely struggling on those 14-lap-old tires now, as Zanger and Sublime are closing up for sure. As Inko now pits off those just 8-lap-old hard tires. So I mean, if this is the strategy for the 2-stop, I mean, he's gonna now has 12 laps to try to catch back up to Shady and pass him. And I mean, with a 7-lap tire advantage, that could, could definitely be big enough to eventually catch back up, but it's going to be a lot of work. This Fox pits now for new mediums as well. This fight for 6th place is still going on. Unfortunately, Shady got a 3-second time penalty. He's still right behind Corrido. I mean, anything can still happen. Corrido will still have to pit. Shady can make it to the end of the race on those hard tires, but I mean, Corrido's tires will be falling off anyways. We have to keep an eye on where his teammate is, Inca. He's not that far away on the map. I mean, he's just about 20 or so seconds away from Shady as it is. So now, if Corrido pits, I mean, he's got to do it soon, or else he's probably going to be passed by his own teammate. Inca seems to make easy work of Kimasabi, who's on 11 lap older tires. It was only 16 seconds away from Tom. As Sharky goes into the pits now as well. Shady's still doing well to save some battery. And stick within the DRS though. As now Kurita goes into the pits. So now this is definitely going to be an interesting ending to the race. So I mean, all Shady needs to do ideally is just, I mean, doesn't need to do qualifying laps, but just needs to do steady pace on his laps, and he's got this race win even with that penalty. Corrido, on the other hand, is going to need to literally have the gods behind him, I think, in order to catch back up in time. I'll be curious to see if Inca will actually get out of the way, or if he'll try to just pull his teammate along until he can't anymore. Kurita definitely closed in very quickly to Inca. So actually, I don't think this is helping him at all. He's probably slowing him down, just one step behind. Probably got best on Street. As there's another yellow flag in the middle sector, it looks like that Ferrari gets moving again. Inca's actually defending this position, so no love lost in between these Williams teammates. Inca doesn't really seem to care. Now he does move over and forces his teammate to use as much battery as possible. So now Kurita has to close up a 14 second gap to freelance Tom, and then after that he has a 5-second gap to close up the Shady in 9 laps. Sublime's doing a great job to keep up the pressure on Zanger, even though he's on 10-lap old medium tires and probably has a good amount more wear than Zanger does. If I were to guess, Sublime is probably waiting until about 20 or 21 and might throw in a set of softs. As Sublime now gets past Inca going around the outside. Sorry, I just kind of caught that there. It's a beautiful move. It's nice and controlled. Zanger gets a little out of shape on the exit there. Just kind of gives Sublime a little bit of breathing room. Rita now closing down the gap to 13 seconds. That gap from Freelance to Shady is still hovering at around 4.95 seconds or so. Yeah, Shady just has to... Shady just has to bring it home, more or less. It's Freelance Tom lurks in the background. Zenger, I think, just losing out of the DRS zone. Sublime, so probably won't be able to make a move there. Let's see how Porsche and Sparty are doing. Let's also check Sharky and Rockman. So Porsche's already trying to make a move here into the chicane, and then Sparty just, yeah, that... I'm not really sure what other outcome there could have been there. If you kind of poke a half-hearted move up the inside of that corner, you're just kind of, that's going to get spun. Sparty couldn't really, I don't think, do too much else, other than completely give up the position, but that's not obviously his prerogative. Because now he's under pressure from Rockman himself. Getting a good exit out of the hairpin. Rockman definitely has more battery to use, so we'll see if he'll have another run on Sharky with the DRS. Just chooses to save the battery and use it for another time. Zenger hanging on to plenty of battery right now. Might be able to eventually get it wrong on Sublime. Not just to use any of the battery though. Perhaps just trying to save it and wait till the end of the race to finally make a move. It's probably with the state of his tires, 18 lap hold hards, he's gonna... Oh, as Sublime actually pits anyway. So... that's curious. Well, Sublime actually won't lose that many places because Diesel is so far behind. And he's just going to go on to the soft tire. So now we'll have to see how, keep an eye on Sublime and see how well it climbs back up through the field. Inca gets a 3-second time penalty, and there's a safety car. The first one that we've had, and Rockman actually is strangely DNF'd. Let's see if we can catch that. Oh, he just clips the wall on the outside there. It's not the hardest thing to do. Sublime gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. That is terrible. And this is the last thing Carito wanted, because now Shady gets a Shady and Freelance get a free pit stop. Inca's going to follow his teammate in for a double stack on the soft tire. See, if I don't know if they would have been out enough, but maybe Inca could have stayed out on the medium tires and potentially blocked Shady and Freelance time to give Carito another shot. And Sanger goes into the pits. Oh! Are we just gonna pretend that didn't happen? as Fox is actually the only driver to stay out, so he wants to try to gain some positions from people in the pits right now. He's going to gain at least one on his teammate. Zanger is going to come out right behind him on brand new softs. As both Aston Martins are coming in. And the safety car is actually almost all the way around to the back straight already, so they might have to really hurry, because with only 5-6 laps left, I mean, they'll probably do full safety car length, but this close to the end of the race, it's definitely can be nerve-wracking if the safety car gets called in early and you're still on this part of the track. As we're just gonna wait for people to catch up to the safety car. I think it's gonna be called in before everyone's ready. There are some people who are very far away. Shady's not gonna be happy about that 3-second time penalty now. Oh, is the audio still crackling? I just had myself muted for a couple seconds. I thought I heard something crackling. I don't know if I didn't know if it was me though. Shady's gonna want to get this race restarted as soon as possible because I mean I don't know if he'll be able to pull a 3-second gap at all. Just at least for the chance to pull any gap. The safety car is going to stay in one more lap. So it looks like we'll get actually everyone closed up here. So that means we'll only have 3 racing laps, 26, 27, 28. Yeah, we need some... Shady needs to do those laps he did in qualifying. Yeah, I agree, J Sal. Sorry for the cracks. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't hear them myself. As Alonso, I think, just made a collision with Sharky. Sharky hit him? Shady now just doing his best to get his tires. He actually goes now, which is super early. Definitely caught people napping. These huge gaps forming. Yeah, everyone is unsure. They're like, oh yeah, we're all... These guys aren't even racing yet. Meanwhile, Shady is gone. Or at least trying to be as gone as possible. Oh no, he got slowed down! That was actually something the game did. Shady was trying to pull a cheeky move and go extra early. But unfortunately the game slowed him down because he got too close to the safety car too soon. And now Freelance Time is going to go all the way up the inside of Shady. And that's going to put him right next to Corito. Shady keeps it on the inside. And just puts Freelance Time out. That was insane first couple corners. Tom does well to stay behind Shady there. And Corito's trying to get all types of interested. So, Toga gets another 3-second time penalty. Corito not thinking about for a move yet, just trying to be more sensible, I think. As the two Mercedes are hitting each other, going through the chicane there, as even though Zenger's on brand new softs and Fox is on old mediums. But again, Corito trying his best to close up as much as he can to Tom and Shady. Oh, his Freelance Tom goes too wide. Oh, and actually hits. No! He hits Corito as he gets all out of shape himself. Oh, what a shame. Well, I mean, he can still at least recover a second place from here if he closes up the gap even a little bit. That is brutal. But critically, at least, Corito's out of 1 second mark from Shady, so at least won't be getting any assistance from his slipstream or DRS, which might be available on the last lap. Really what Shady needs right now is some type of miracle for Corito to possibly make a mistake. It looks like there's a whole bunch of action going on back here. With Fox and Diesel and everything going on. It's there's some yellow flags there. So Sharky unfortunately spins again. Keep an eye on Shady though. Sets a new fastest lap of a 33.5. And DRS is now enabled this lap. But critically, Corito's still outside of a second. And Freelance trying to do his best to claw back any time he had lost with that spin. Now everyone's out of battery. Let's see if Inca will try to pull the big sin on Corrido. With nothing left, oh, Inca thought about it. Might still try to get him on the exit, just to try to get him on track, but no, I think they'll play it smarter than that. With Shady crossing the line first, it is going to be Corrido who actually takes the win. A very steady drive from him, displaying a good show of composure. Looks like Alonso actually, unfortunately, DNFs before coming across the line. I mean, I assume that that's a legitimate DNF, not just because it's the end of the race. So, I mean, if that's the end of his race, then he would get no points. As, yeah, Sharky just pulls over to, looks like seemingly confirm. Wow, and with that is the end of the Chinese Grand Prix. That was exciting. I need to process that for a moment. I think what made that race so great is that, I mean, the safety car didn't come out until way later. Kind of makes me think safety cars ruin races sometimes. I mean, not obviously, but anyway, congrats to Corrido for making the aggressive strategy work. I mean, that last safety car did save him, and he did win due to the penalty. But you know what counts is that he didn't get any penalties himself. It's definitely hard to be fast and clean in terms of track limits. Great job for Shady for getting pole position in second place with fastest lap. Tom doing a great job coming up from sixth place to round out the podium. And Dorothy Diesel and Sparty doing great jobs themselves to get up from 13th and 14th respectively into the top 10. Well, and with that being the end of the race, I'm going to sign off here. My name is Professor Phil. I race in the Ferrari on Sundays here at Race Spec. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race, and we hope to see you next week.